Okay, guys, so we're continuing on with our sine law, but we're dealing with application of the sine law. So once again, application meaning real life example and how we're going to use that, okay? We know that the sine ratio is so, and that is what we're going to be using moving forward today. So instructions are as follows. Show all your work to guarantee marks. Since we're doing an application question, we always want to make sure we do this, which is our let x be statement. So whatever our unknown is, we want to make sure that we let x be something. And our concluding statement, remember we have our therefore and it equals. Once again, we round. You can't see my screen. Okay, start. Better? Okay, my apologies. So once again, real life examples, 2.15, we're using so or our sine ratio. Remember, we need to include our let x be statement and our concluding statement as we go. We round off our sine answers to 4 decimal places. We round off our side length answers to 1 and our angles to the nearest full degrees. So once again, my apologies for not sharing the screen, but hopefully you guys can see now. And we will begin with our 2 examples leading you into your assigned work. We know that we're using the sine ratio or so. So I'm just going to write that out there for you so you're aware of that. But the following example says the 30.5 meter fire truck ladder is placed at a 77-degree angle with the ground. To what height does the ladder reach up the wall? So if we look at this picture, if I extend this, we know this is the ground. We know that the fire truck ladder forms this angle with the ground at 77 degrees, and E to D over here is our height of our ladder. But we want to find out how tall, so D to F, is our building. And we're going to make that X. So if we look at this angle in question, X is the opposite side, and the 30.5 is our hypotenuse. So in this case, once again, we will use so. In this case, we're going to let X be the height the ladder reaches up the wall. That's a little bit of a lengthy one, but make sure that you have that down. Okay. And from here, we're just going to set up our equation. So it's sine x is equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse. And in this case, sine 77, that being our angle, is equal to the opposite side, which we've made x, over 30.5. Okay. We know that we need to figure out what sine 77 is, so we do that on our calculator, and it's going to give us 0.9744, once we round, is equal to x over 30.5. And here we know to keep x by itself, we're going to have to cross multiply like we've done so many times. And our equation is now going to look like 30.5 times 0.9744 is equal to x. If you do this, you should come up with the answer of 29.7 meters. And our concluding statement would be, therefore, the ladder reaches 29.7 meters high. Okay. Just give you a second to write that down. Once you have that down, could you write good in the chat, please? Just write the word good, G-O-O-D. Waiting for a few more before we move on. Writing good in the chat if you have it down. Awesome. All right, second question here, and then we'll let you go to your assigned work. So it says a kite gets stuck in a tree at a point of 25 meters above ground, with its string extended to a length of 45 meters. Okay, and it says, what angle does the kite string form with the ground? So just to show you what this drawing looks like, if we had triangle A, B, and C, B to C would be our ground, A to C would be our tree, and A to B would be our string, okay? Just to give you an idea of what that looks like. Now, we've been given, if this is our angle in question, because they talk about the angle the string makes with the ground, the side of the tree is 25 meters, and that's our opposite. And the side of the string is our hypotenuse. And when we do this, we now will have let x be the angle the kite forms with the ground. Okay, that's our x. That's going to be our x in this equation. Okay. And if we wrote it out, it would be sine x is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. And we can begin to fill in some of these things. So sine, the angle is x, so it's going to stay x. The opposite being 25. The hypotenuse being 45. If we divide those two numbers, we will get the sine ratio, which is 0.5556. We're going to round up to that. Okay. And now in this case, we have x. We want to find out x by itself, and we know we're trying to find an angle. So we're going to have to use the sine -1 button to help us out with this one. So in this case, if we did second function and the sine -1 button, we're going to get an answer of 33.74 degrees. However, we're going to round that to the nearest degree, which is 34 degrees. And we can conclude with the angle made is 34 degrees.